topic number 2. There was a couple trailers that came out this past week. First one we're going to talk about is the Power Rangers trailer, and I know that you out there might be thinking, well, why not just do a reaction to that? Well, I kind of want to talk about this. I don't know if any of us are diehard, or you don't even need to be diehard, but big enough fans that we're excited to want to do a reaction, and I don't really want to put a reaction video that we do that's kind of forced, that we're not pumped to talk about it. I don't think anybody wants to tune into a reaction where we're like, yeah, it was cool. I can see, it's just, that's not exciting. So we're only going to do reactions about stuff that we're either excited to talk about or maybe excited that we really don't want to see, i.e., Fate of the Furious, which can be just as good. But Power Rangers trailer came out. I think it looks really cool. It looks a little bit different in tone than the last trailer. The last trailer kind of gave me a sense that it was going to be kind of like a Chronicle-like movie. Dark, a lot of single camera use, which I thought was cool. It was an interesting take, and it looked believable. Mm-hmm. A little bit darker in tone, gritty. This one definitely had elements of that, but it also had kind of moments of levity and joking around. We got to see Alpha 5, who was played by Saturday Night Live. What's his name?
Bill Hader.
Bill Hader. Yeah, Bill Hader. Seeing Bryan Cranston do their version of the big head
Zordon.
Is that right?
Help me out here.
Zordon. It's Zordon, right? That's the big head. See, this is why we didn't do a reaction.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I don't think that it's. Is it Zordon?
Yeah, it is.
I don't think it's right. That doesn't sound right. Is it?
I think so. It's funny because
or is it Zorkon?
We'll get to that. But anyway, little bit lighter in tone, which I think it kind of needs to be. I mean, they got to have a little bit of that family aspect, because if you're going to do a Power Rangers movie, it's got to be at least a little bit kind of a family movie, right?
I would beg to differ, but I'll get into that in a minute.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Different, but no, let's just jump into it. What do you guys think? What's your impressions?
Yeah, there was a shift as far as the tone of what the movie's going to be with this one compared to the last trailer that we saw.
Mm-hmm.
We have we got our 5 misfits, whereas now we're actually seeing like the full-on armored sequence of these guys going in there. We saw our first versions of the Zords. We saw the combined the Megazord at the end. So I don't know. I like the fact. I want to see what Elizabeth Banks is going to be doing as Rita. Just because I had watched the series when I was younger, at least the first one, the original one, the Mighty Morphin one.
See, that one I remember. I wouldn't watch it religiously, but when it's on, you're like, you'd watch it from time to time. So I never saw the whole series, but I remember the first generation, the original Mighty Morphin, which this is based off of. I did see some of them too. So.
Yeah. So again, I was kind of a little bit disappointed with the fact that what I saw from the movie, it is kind of geared more towards, let's go back more towards what that show really was, which was, obviously a lot of lighthearted, having fun, regardless of, some of the tonal shifts that they did include with this one, which was a little bit darker, but not much. And the reason why I think that they really can do a good, I'll call it gritty version, is because there was a an independent
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, right. It was an independent kind of small featurette that was put together.
I remember that.
Yeah, where it was
the beak.
What's that?
Yeah.
James
exactly. You see, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
That one was done incredibly well. It looked at some of the almost the ridiculousness of what the concept really was, where he's even complaining, we're 5 kids given this kind of power, fighting a war that wasn't even ours, and you're seeing cutbacks to battle scenes that actually look even though they're in bright colored armor, they're kind of dark, and it does kind of drive home. By the way, what you're dealing with here is far beyond just having fun. There are severe consequences with the level of power that is being that's being used here. What we see now is, I think it'll be fun, but I really would like to have seen them kind of take that other concept, since they know that it can work that way. I mean, that thing got a lot of positive reviews to it, and I think even just as serving as a baseline story in and of itself would have been a lot a lot more interesting than kind of like, well, let's just kind of do a little rehash of the TV show.
Yeah.
We'll update the graphics and kind of go with there. We'll put in some some nice little one-liners there, but
without question, I'd rather see that movie. And in fact, that might be something I would actually go to see. I have no intention of seeing this in theaters.
Yeah.
I would go see that Seven Ways to Sunday, especially more than anything else we've seen before. If I was producing the movie, I would be scared to death to go that route, because you could do that with something and have it more gritty and adult with something like, let's say, Deadpool, that made more, and the studios were worried about that because it's R-rated. You're closing the gap on all your teenage market. You're going to lose that. You can't do that with this. Well, Deadpool is intentionally skewed adult and inappropriate, so you're not. That's who the market's for. Power Rangers isn't. Power Rangers is for kids. We can make it more adult and stuff, but if you take it at as extreme as they did in that Vanderbeek, which again, I would rather watch that. I don't think that you're ever going to make as much money as you're going to when you do something that can be maybe more adult, skew a little bit more gritty, but it's also got to be kid oriented. And that one was something that I wouldn't take my 9-year-olds to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but this is old ground though, because they've done these Power Rangers movies in the past.
I agree.
On the big screen, and they flopped.
Yep.
I mean, they did terrible. So there's got to be. It looks like they wanted to keep that movie, but justify to themselves that, well, we're not actually doing the same thing again. Well, yes, you are.
Yeah.
If by just trying to kind of put like a dark filter on the camera.
Yeah.
When you're doing like shooting some of these scenes, that's not making a significant enough change to really undo what we saw in those original films.
And it's almost ironic that we jump right into this topic after we just talked about Voltron. Now, again, different medium.
Yeah.
You know, anime and cartoon, you can do some things you can't do in live action. It's not the same thing. Like, oh, they did it here. Why can't they do it here? And we're also talking about 5 giant robot animals that join to form one thing. I mean, this is almost divine intervention right here. Where we're just really smart or really stupid. But
lucky.
Yeah. I forgot what my point was. It was probably really good too. I hear what you're saying. Oh yeah, that it's not that new and original. I agree with you. They're not taking a new modern spin. Well, I mean they kind of are. We'll know more after we actually see this, but it looks better than the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie that came out in the 90s.
But that's not saying anything.
That's true. I mean that even from the trailer just looked cheesy and dumb, and it was literally, let's just take the show. Here's $80 million. Now go. This at least looked cool. The acting was way better from the kids. You know, they might be playing the same characters, but you know, completely adding their own element to it. Still did kind of have some of that Chronicle feel. Elizabeth Banks is an awesome actress. I like the fact that the way that her suit of armor or her outfit, whatever you want to call it, like appears around her the same way that theirs do, and it almost leads you to wonder, well, was she a ranger before? Are they going to add on that aspect before? Because I could see that. It almost looks like it's kind of the same thing. I just don't think this is as dire as even watching from the original trailer of the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie back in that would have been the 90s. Just looked dumb. Looked kiddie and dumb. This one at least looks like it's got an effort. Is it going to be a success? I wouldn't bet money on it, but I think it's a better shot than what they've done before. But Matt, what the fuck do you think?
Since we're talking about kids movies, I think we need to throw some language in. I guess in regards to it, the more I see, the less I want to see it.
Yeah.
The first trailer that they came up with, I liked. I mean, I saw it and I'm like, this looks like it could be good. This is something that I would take my son to see. The more I see it, the less I want to.
Right.
I mean, the fact that in the second trailer, there's a point in there where she's like, oh, well, last night me and my friends were on an alien ship, and then her mom's like, pee in this cup. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You think I want to explain to my kids why this girl has to pee in a cup?
And why the mom has one at the ready at any given time.
Exactly. What kind of trash are you bringing into the theater? So, no, I guess the more I see that aspect of it, I'm like, really, why can't these be 2 kids, plain normal kids like every other kid thinks they are? Why do they have to be, I've been brought home from the cops, or you know, I was addicted to drugs at one point? You don't have to touch on that. I mean, the whole fact of this, that was never something in the show. These kids might not have been the popular kids, but
you're right. They weren't
normal.
outcasts in the original show,
No,
were they?
This one they did that.
They weren't misfits.
Yeah, they did that whole Breakfast Club thing at the beginning, where it's like, all right, looks like we're all going to school on a Saturday and we even have one guy getting dropped off by his dad in the truck.
Yeah,
circa Emilio
Going across
Estevez.
The football field with his hand up.
Yeah. I'm like, oh.
I think that they're trying to add depth to this, and the more I watch the trailers, they're failing at it. Just have it be 5 kids, you know, whatever circumstance you want to put them together in. Maybe they are friends. Maybe they're on a field trip or something. Whatever reason, put them there. have them find this, but then it's just they're trying to like add romance between two characters and all this other stuff that's just going to
Sweet
dilute the story
15-year-old
and make it
romance.
awful.
Do you guys think it's almost like a catch-22 because we go into to some degree, like we go into detail, they're just doing the same thing over again, but then now they're outcasts. They were never outcasts before. Well, now there's a level.
That's
there was
not
never
a real
before.
change. I mean, that's just like I'm saying. Let's take what we originally had, and we'll make tweaks on it, but not really significant.
We're going to John
tweaks.
Hughes this a lot.
Yeah.
No, we're not going to John Hughes it. It's the Power Rangers. The fact they changed the uniforms, I don't like the uniforms. Keep them like where they were. I mean, I realize they got to do something to like morph into this thing because they can't just do like next thing you know I'm holding my thing out and then I'm covered in my uniform, right? And I apologize. I feel a bit like a aficionado because my son loves these shows. Like he loves the shows. He has the figures, the new one, the Dino Charge. He has the Dino Charge things. He has 2 Halloween costumes upstairs of Power Rangers. So I'm watching this
One
stuff
of
with
them's
him.
yours, isn't it?
Well, the third one. I didn't say the third. But no, I mean literally, if you look back here, these cardboard things were helmets that I made for him.
Oh wow,
They're
that's
prototypes of helmets that I made for him for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
And these are Power Ranger helmets, all of them. So I mean, the fact that they're changing it that much, I'm just like, I don't think you need to. You don't have to reinvent the wheel with this. It's like all we're keeping is the names and the general thing. And then the fact that like by the end of the trailer, they're fighting some big monster that this looks like shit. I'm like, Pacific Rim looked better than this.
This is a
And how
tough
old is that? It's
situation to
5 years
begin
old.
because it's got to be hard to take that property that just looks so cheesy and almost made no sense and try to have some tie to reality and make it look believable, more than any
but
other
it had
property.
its place.
Uh-huh.
I mean, like in the original, yeah, you know that they're on a studio. You know that they're all fake buildings behind them. You know it's just a big foam suit the person's in. But that was the show.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to try to make this serious, if you're going to have them fighting the guys from Pacific Rim or Godzilla or whoever it is,
It's quite an uphill battle.
I just don't know if it's going to work. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The more I see of it, the less I'm excited to take my son to see it.
Yeah. Well, I have no desire to see this in theaters, but I'll watch it when it finally comes home. Unless by some stroke of luck, this ends up being the most amazing Oscar-worthy movie that everybody won't stop talking about. That actually
it's
gets
gonna
me into
blow
the theater.
Avatar out of the water.
Right. Which I don't see happening, but I'll see it at some point. Just whatever, This is why we didn't do a reaction.
Yeah, our post-week reaction.
Yeah.
Just very much like there are.
My reaction would not have been a positive one.
Yeah.
I feel more like Fate of the Eight than anything else. The Mummy looks better to me than this.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let us know if you're excited for Power Rangers. I know that there is a very strong, healthy base of people that love this, but probably younger than we were, that grew up
I
with
think
this.
they're counting
as
on
kids.
China.
Yeah.
They're counting on the Chinese market.
But I mean, even here, I know that there is some people that are really passionate about this stuff, and a lot more than us. But let us know what you're excited about for stuff like this.